Hi there, Gemini, and welcome to your February reading. I hope that this month is getting off to a great start for everyone, and I can't wait to see what information is coming through for your sign. Now, every month I like to select a deck of cards and do a quick meditation before I read for that sign. As I was doing that for you, I got the following channeled information. The word itself here is just feedback, but let me go into what's important about feedback. I really think this has to do with nonverbal communication for many of you. So if there's any sort of tricky conversations or important dialogues that you need to kind of have this month, what you really want to do is tune in not only to the tone of the voice of the person that's speaking to you, but also their body language. And I want you to read even beyond that and go on an energetic level and see how you feel when they're talking to you. And this is going to be a way not only for you to pick up on subtle messages that are coming through beyond the words, but it's a great way for you to hone into your intuition. Now, part two of this is not so much about energy or nonverbal cues. It's actually an encouragement for you to give feedback to people in your life this month. And it needs to be both constructive and also positive, because if we only give negative or constructive feedback, then people sometimes get put on the defensive. So I want you to temper that and intersperse some positive feedback as well. Those sorts of levels of feedback, it creates a sense of trust between you and the people that you're with. It shows that you love, that you care about them, and that you're receiving the work that they're doing in a really positive light. So remember to open your heart, say some positive things when it's appropriate this month. If you need something, or if you feel like you're not being listened to, you can also give that feedback. And then in addition to that, I want you to pay attention to energy and also nonverbal cues that you're receiving. So really important this month to tune into your communication, and through doing this you're actually going to deepen your intuition as well. All right, so let's get into the reading itself. For those of you that are brand new, I'm going to break down quickly what I do. I start off with a Celtic cross, which I'll be pulling here in just a moment. I pull a catalyst card, which helps sort of set the tone for the month. And then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Those of you that have come back many times here, thank you very much for that. You already know that, but I just like to sort of set the intention. It also helps keep me organized as well. So at this point, after I shuffle here, I'm going to be quiet for a minute just to kind of pay attention to the cards, their arrangement, and any additional information that wants to present itself. Let's go ahead and pull that catalyst card that I spoke about a moment ago, and then I will get into the reading. Okay, so for the catalyst this month, you have the body card. This is a card that quite literally means taking care of yourself on a physical level. So if you've been either neglecting your physical activity, or you're meaning to get more fit, or you're noticing that there's an ache and pain, I really want you to make sure that you're taking care of that, because when you think of our bodies, they are basically like the conduit for the energy to come through. So the more we take care of it, the stronger we are, the more energy we can hold, also of course the more things that we can do. The other thing with this card is, for some of you, it may be difficult to look past the obvious or the physical. When I look at the body, I think of physique, but I'm also thinking about what's right in front of your eyes and what's more on the physical plane. So as I was talking about with the communication this month, don't get distracted by maybe what someone's putting out in an appearance or what something appears to be. I want you to dig a little deeper this month. So it's about doing your homework, not only on your own body and your own health and well-being, but also looking beneath appearances and making sure that you're not either being deceived, distracted, or somehow missing something that's beneath the surface. All right, let's now take a look at the cards and get a little deeper understanding of what's coming through. Your center card is the King of Pentacles in reverse. So a lot of you are working hard either with the intention of making a larger purchase or a larger investment, or you're just working hard to sort of create something important for yourself. It could even be a sense of investing in yourself. But what I see whenever the King of Pentacles card is in reverse is that you're not necessarily going to be able to cash in or see the return on this investment right away. So this is a month of paying, investing, putting away, and trusting that you're doing it for the right reasons. So patience will be a part of this. That's going to be something that you need to tune into. Now, the King of Pentacles is crossed by the Sun card. The Sun card in and of itself is quite positive. It speaks to charisma. It can also indicate new love that's sort of budding and blossoming. It can also be associated with children in your life, usually men, but it can also be women. It's a strong card, and overall this bodes well for you. Now, if there's a man in your life that is kind of attached to that King of Pentacles card, this card is a warning that you don't give away too much of your energy. You want to keep some of this vitality for yourself, and you also want to exercise limits. And that's where the feedback card comes in that we were talking about earlier. And also just a gentle nudge to not get too distracted by someone in your life that may be beautiful but may have some issues that they're trying to work through. This person has come into your life for a reason. This card is telling you to step back, make sure that you are understanding exactly what you're getting into, that you're not taken in by the beauty of the person, that you see all the levels of complexity that are in this relationship. And again, this could be a brand new relationship, but the Sun card is sort of like the rose-colored glasses that you wear at the beginning of a relationship. So I want you to take your time. Don't rush into anything. When I look at deep past and what's been affecting many of you over the past couple of months, it's been a little bit of a struggle to push through things. There might have been some projects or some people or some situations where you've been forced to really show how strong you are, and you may not be receiving the sort of, we look at that feedback card again, the feedback that you need to know that you're on track. A way to kind of look at this card is it's a beginnings card. So if you see yourself in the first semester of college or university, it seems like a long road to get to graduation. As you get older, you realize this happens fast, and that 3 or 4 years went by really, really quickly. But I want you to try not to get overwhelmed by the pressure or the anxiety that you might be putting on yourself in this moment. Work hard, stay strong, and continue to be focused on what it is you're working for, whether it's love in a relationship, a degree if you're trying to seek some sort of education, or if you're working hard in a career and you see this current situation as a way to ultimately get to your desired sort of stature, wherever it is in your company. Just stay strong and stay steady right now, and that's the main message with the Five of Swords. The other thing with this is to not doubt yourself and also not to get involved in other people's drama. The way you can do this is through the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of limits. What's great about this, though, is it's also a card of having enough, more than enough actually, if you make smart decisions. Typically in the Six of Pentacles card, this is a little unconventional, but typically you will see someone holding scales and having like coins in their hands or a coin purse and sort of doling out exactly what they need, but not more than what they need. And so that's sort of your mantra this month is, I'm only going to give enough. I'm not going to overextend myself because I want you to work hard. That's clear. But if someone's trying to burn you out, or if you are kind of tempted to make a big purchase or to work so hard that you have nothing left, this card then basically goes on empty. So look at this month like a long distance run where each week you're going to have to show up and deliver, so don't burn yourself out, if that makes sense. As we look at your crowning card, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This card is usually a positive marker towards repair and an increase in finances. Now the reversal on this is showing me that many of you are sorting out either investments that don't suit you, possibly paying some old bills, or you're feeling the weight of having a lot of financial responsibility. There's a little bit of burden that comes with the Seven of Pentacles, but it's equaled out by responsibility and momentum. So what I want you to try to do is figure out what your plan of action is. Take a look at your budget, take a look at your goals, speak with a financial planner if you need to. Here in the US, this is like tax season between now and April, so it's a good time to do that. But it's really always a good time throughout the year to kind of look and make sure that you're tracking exactly where you want to be financially. The Seven of Pentacles upright would be a card that's saying, hey, you're actually headed in the right direction. This one is saying, you're nearly there. You might need to make some tweaks and some adjustments, but don't give up and definitely continue to make these positive strides. You're on the path to recovery. As we look at the middle of the month leading to the end, also the near future, looking at the next couple of months that are going to be following this, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So just like the King card in the center, there's still going to be a lot of outgoing investments. With that being said, I think it would be safe to say for January, February, and March, you really want to limit luxury spending. And if you take a holiday, which you absolutely should if you're overdue for one, try to do one that's budget friendly. Do something local. Take a 3-day weekend. Do things that are creative but still refreshing. As far as upgrading your house or buying new clothing, really try to shop the sales and decide if you need to do it now or if it can wait a couple of months. This is all about planning and about buying when the time is right. If you're trying to buy a home, the same thing goes with that. You really have to make sure that you feel that this is worth the risk, because it does feel like there's a lot of hidden costs that could be involved. So make sure you ask for details there. So as we're looking now at your ego this month, we have the High Priestess in reverse. This is a card of intuition. It's also a card that can come up when you're afraid to talk to someone about something. So if there's someone that you really love in your life, and whether you're in the relationship for a long time or you're just getting started on the relationship, this card is about not letting things be swept under the rug. So it's always easier to deal with something right when it happens than to wait like months or years and then blow up. So I'm encouraging anyone that has something constructive to talk about, especially if it's something that's near and dear to your heart, that you do it sooner than later, and you do it in a way that is not overtly attacking someone. Always go to the constructive side. Remember to temper things with positive energy. The other thing with this card is to trust your intuition. Many times when I read for people and I get this card, kind of irrespective of where it's at, I can tell that they're highly intuitive, but they may not be listening to themselves, or they've had one of those moments where they think, oh, I should have done that. Why didn't I do it? Why didn't I listen to myself? So I'm telling you now, if you get a flash of intuition this month, if you're trying to make a decision and someone might be attempting to make you not listen to yourself for some reason, this card is saying, no, 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 trust yourself. Trust that compass that's kind of lighting up and saying this way, not that way. Now, as I'm looking at your environment card here, we have the Nine of Wands, a beautiful Nine of Wands at that. This is a card of a phoenix rising from the ashes. In a typical deck, you see someone that has survived a lot of turmoil, typically illustrated by someone that has a bandage on their forehead. What this card is saying is don't give up. And this especially is saying whatever you're pushing through, it's going to feel so much better when you get to the other side of the finish line. So I want you to continue to work hard, and I want you to approach this month thinking, I have this, I can do this, it's within my reach. And if there's anybody that makes you second guess yourself again, I want you to reach deep inside and know that it's one opinion, it's not everybody's, and that you're stronger than one person's opinion. One thing about this too is it's showing that you're nearing the end of a phase in your life. So if there's something that you've been working really hard to accomplish, this card is saying that it's a really great time for you to stop, take a look at exactly how far you've come, what you've sacrificed to get to this point in time, and then just to reset and realize, okay, I'm tracking well. There may be more work that needs to be done, as we saw earlier, but it's not something that's going to overwhelm me because I've come so far and I don't want to give up my vision, my opportunity. Now, as we look at hopes, fears, desired action, we have the Empress card. She's reversed. The interesting thing here is I feel like there's a lot of energy around you that is sort of in a receiving end, and there's not a lot that's giving to you. This Empress card reverse can be oftentimes a mother figure, can be a boss in your life, can be a sister and aunt, but it's usually a woman that's very, very strong. And again, just like that King of Pentacles character, these two people are asking a lot of your energy. So exercise restraint, give what you need to, give feedback, and create some limits here again. The other part of this card, however, can be about your desire to have more control of your life, because Emperor and Empress are really speaking to autonomy. And what I'm seeing right now is a lack or a feeling that you're not exactly as much in control as you'd like, so that could be something that you're working to establish. The month ends on a very positive note. We have the Four of Wands in the outcome position. Four of Wands is a beautiful foundational card. If you have any sort of hopes and dreams, this is the cornerstone for that, or the foundation. You can't have something without partnerships, without a clear idea, and without support. That all comes through with this card. It's a good card if you're starting to date someone as well. Just remember, if you are starting a new relationship, you want to make sure that the energy is feeling very equal to you, because when I look at these potential partners with the King of Pentacles here and the Empress, both of them are reversed, which means again that they're going to need a lot from you. Same thing with the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a lot of energy that's going out, but not a lot that's coming to you. So I want you to make sure that you're getting what you need, and if you're not, there's still opportunity to meet someone new towards the end of the month. A lot of these that I'm looking at in the center seem very much like they're already existing in your life. So it's either family, existing spouses or loved ones, or again, it's something that might be karmic that you're pulling in. So sort those out first, and then once you've done that, I feel like if you want to create new friendships, partnerships, or love interests in your life, you'll be ready. Now let's go ahead and expand the forecast, and we'll start off with the health card, which I see as all-inclusive. This is mind, body, and spirit. I'll leave the camera down while I shuffle here, and we'll take a look and see what the card says. So we have that there's going to be a major change when it comes to your health. Now, since we're looking at an oracle deck, the translation of this card is slightly different. I'm also looking at the imagery here, which is quite optimistic. It's almost like a sun, really beautiful energy, really positive energy. So what I'm going to do is interpret this death card as a catalyst for transformation and change. That means this is a month to create new habits and to end old habits in your health. If you've been wanting to sort of cut back on your drinking or stop altogether, great month for sobriety. If you've been wanting to change your diet to get more fit, this is the month to do that as well. If you're also looking at other forms of healthiness and well-being, or trying to overcome other types of addictions, again, this is a good month for endings and beginnings, and that's really what this says. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So that's what I want you to interpret this card to mean for your health. And what it also says is if you make changes now, you actually put off the inevitable death. It's going to be further down the line. Live healthy now. Be stronger now. Do this for the people that you love in your life. This is the month. It's vital to begin and to make those changes. Of course, I want to put a disclaimer. With any changes in your health, you absolutely should talk to a health care physician or a specialist and make sure that it makes sense for you. But it's a great month to have that discussion. So let this be the month where you decide, I'm ready, I'm willing, I want to make these changes because it feels right. The other thing with with this card is it also shows me that it's a good time to detach. When I see death in a reading, it can also just mean like a natural end to a relationship, not one that necessarily has to be attached to someone's life ending. It's just sort of like when you think of a season. Plants will go dormant. Sometimes, you know, things will separate too in real life. You know, a seed has to separate from the plant. So this is your chance to let go of something if you need to let go of something, okay? Now for the wealth card this month, I'm going to be using a Lord Ganesha deck because I really love the imagery and I love the messages. They all come from a place of support. All right, so the message from Lord Ganesha this month is divine support. This is in regards to your money. This is about asking somebody else for assistance, not just about praying for help, although that helps. And for those of you that enjoy using mantras, Lakshmi is a great, there's not just a deity, but there's also a great mantra that goes along with that. You can use that. But this is also about speaking to a financial advisor, about talking to friends and family, about talking to your loved ones, and really making sure that the support exists within that network. And again, I would say when I look at higher knowledge and higher power, it's also about self-empowerment. And don't be afraid to research. Research about taxes, research about costs of business, and also just different types of investments, different instruments for saving for the future. So this is a card of education, as well as allowing for that money to come in and for that wealth and that opportunity to come in. It is important to be able to receive, and that was something that I said earlier. And for wealth and opportunity to come to you, you have to believe that you're worth it, and you have to be ready and willing to receive it. So my one message to you in that regard is to know that you are worth it. You are worth having success and abundance in your life. All right, let's take a look now at the love card. And for me, love is about all relationships in our life, not just our romantic relationships. But let's let the card speak for itself and see what wants to come through in regards to love and relationships. Okay, so we have consider your foundation. So This is really great. It's a reversal on this one, but it's really great when we pair it up with the Four of Wands, which I was talking about as that foundational card. Before you get into a long-term commitment or a promise, you want to make sure that the foundation that you're building is one that is steady, is even, is fair, and it's something that both of you agree on. So I think this is a month where you have heart-to-heart conversations. Again, if it's a business partnership, the same holds true, but especially for love, make sure that you are on the same page and that there's nothing that you're kind of avoiding or afraid to talk about, because this moon card often indicates that there's something that you wish you could bring up, but you don't know the right time or the right way. There's never going to be the perfect words sometimes to say something difficult. The most important thing is to speak with kindness and speak from your heart, and suddenly the words kind of find their way of coming out of your mouth. Think about it this way: it's always better to know where you stand with someone than to have surprises come down the line. So let that be your compass right now. Let's now take a look at your Destiny card. I love Destiny cards because they are malleable, they're changeable. This is a GPS. It's showing you the direction that you are currently traveling, and if you like it, stick with it. If you don't, it's time to make a detour. It's time to try something different. So let's go ahead and give these cards a shuffle and see what's coming through on your Destiny this month. And we have healing. And it's not just healing, but we have this beautiful crystal card here as well, which is saying that you need to be crystal clear in what it is you're trying to do with your life, with your health, with just basically your purpose. So have clear intentions and your mind, body, and spirit will follow. This can also kind of get you closer to your spiritual path if that's something that you're interested in, because crystals are a great way to amplify and to clarify our spirit and our energy. So this is a good month to try that if you've never done that. Also, non-traditional approaches towards healing and medicine, whether it's something like acupuncture or maybe some sort of hands-on healing, or just, again, deepening your meditation practice. This is about using spirit in your everyday practice to bring strength and vitality in your life. And most importantly, because we have that crystal there, it's about the clarity of your purpose, of your vision. The more you know what you want or what you're trying to accomplish, the easier it is for the universe to sort of line up everything that you need. When you're scattered in your thoughts and your ambitions, then chaos tends to ensue. So I want you to spend some time at the very least just clarifying your intentions, your visions, and your goals. All right, let's go ahead now and summarize everything that we just covered, and then we'll wrap up the reading. The channeled information was to focus on the various types of feedback that you'll be receiving in communication this month. Look at the subtle energy, look at the nonverbal communication, listen to the tones that people are using to communicate. All of these are going to speak much louder than the words or the word choice that they're using. The other thing is to give the feedback, to give the validation that people may need in your life. Positive encouragement, and not just criticism. And so it's really about tempering your feedback. Also being in a place where you can receive others' feedback, whether it be positive or negative, in a sort of neutral state of being, not carrying too much energy with all of those thoughts. As we looked at your catalyst card this month, it's a reminder not to get taken in by sometimes a beautiful facade, whether it's something in the environment or even just a person. You need to dig a little bit deeper and look beneath the surface. As we look at the cards here, what we see at the center here is actually two cards here showing that there's a lot of energy going out, maybe not as much coming in, and the energy tends to surround your money and your resources. Resources can also be your vitality, that sort of energy within that allows you to do what you need to do. So this card is saying, give what you need, don't give too much. Look at this month, as I said earlier, as a long distance run where you're going to have several weeks to go through it. You can't basically burn out on the first week. Money plays a big role this month. I can see a lot of you are working towards increased financial stability. Don't give up. It looks like you're making good progress there. A lot of you may not be getting the feedback that you need in that progress, but just approach it like you would going to school or university and know that you have to work through all of the levels to get where you need to go. Don't be afraid to bring up difficult topics of conversation this month. Trust your intuition. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but it's a great month to tap into your creativity. As we look at the environment, it's reminding you that keep on pushing through because you've almost made it to your goal. And when you get to the other side, it's going to be such a relief. Don't give up now. The Empress card in reverse, speaking about autonomy and creating a sense of more independence in your life. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, and also don't let other people push you around. The month ends on a very good note with a card of foundations in relationships. It's a great time to talk about getting deeper into a relationship, starting new friendships, or starting a new partnership. As we expand your forecast and we look first at your health card, one that we talked at great length about, this is a month for change for the better, letting go of old habits, and creating new ones that will help you sustain and help you live a longer, healthier life. So as always, you want to consult with a physician, but this is a great chance to let go of habits that you no longer want. As we look at your wealth card, it's a card of empowerment and getting information. Although it says divine support, it's more than just that. It's also about seeking out the information and the support in real life that you need, and then also on a spiritual level, opening up to the state of being in a receiving mode. And that can be hard for some of you that tend to give a lot to others. As we look at love, we have consider the foundation, or consider your foundation. This is saying that you want to come into the relationship as strong as possible, but you should expect that also from your partner. And if there's anything that you two don't agree on, this is the time to sort it out. Without that foundation, there's not really a lot of hope for a deeper relationship. So talk about the hard stuff now, and then enjoy the relaxation that comes after that. But you have to really get to those hard discussions first. As we look at your destiny, it's really about intention. We have crystals and healing, but to sum it up, it's about knowing what you're looking for in any part of your life. With that clarity comes the guidance that you need to accomplish that. So with that, we are now at the end of our reading. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you'd ever like to reach out to me and have a one-on-one reading, I do have those available, and you can reach out to me using my website, and I'll put a link below so that you can take a look at rates and availability. Also, if you've just found that this was helpful and you would like to support the channel, I have a few ways you can do that, including Patreon, and also, again, going to my website and clicking donate. If you'd like to stay in touch, the easiest way to do so is by clicking subscribe here on the channel. If you click that notification bell, you'll also receive an email whenever I post new videos. I have a newsletter as well if you prefer that, and that subscription info is right in that description area below. Also in that area, you can find out how to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I'd love to have you there as well. Finally, and most importantly, I like to spend the last minute here just offering a little bit of gratitude towards you. I've been talking about how one light, one voice, one person can make a difference, and how together, if we continue to work on ourselves, we can make this a brighter, lighter planet. That really is my purpose as we enter into 2018, is that each of us can not only deepen our intuition, but brighten our light. This is a time on the planet where that's more important than ever. So allow your voice to rise above the rest, to be stronger, and again, allow your energy to be a little bit brighter. One light makes a big difference. So keep shining brightly, and I'll see you again next month. Bye-bye.